Hello, and welcome to another Angry Unit of the Week. And today we're taking a look at the Sherman Firefly, available to a variety of allied divisions. Firefly is probably one of the most iconic Sherman variants during the Second World War. Essentially, the British had this lovely 17-pounder gun, and they wanted to try to put it in tanks. But it was a very big gun, and it had a huge recoil system, and so it was rather hard to fit into a tank. By 43-44, the British were experimenting with the Challenger, the A30, as well as the Cromwell to fit the 17-pounder in, and there was delays and complications with both of those designs, and so the Sherman Firefly would be the one that really see major mass production by early 1944. They didn't just simply throw in the gun 90 degrees, there's a bunch of other modifications, especially due to the recoil system and cutting a hole in the back so you could put radio to give more room for the gun, so you could fit this massive gun in the rather small turret. As well, they got rid of the hole gunner / radio man and just put ammunition where he was, as they needed more room just for ammunition. It see service during the Normandy campaigns and all throughout Western Europe, and it gained quite a legendary reputation, as it was one of the few Allied vehicles, especially during the early periods of the Normandy campaign, that could reliably knock out Tigers and Panthers at a long distance with its rather powerful gun. And how the Firefly was used tactically is also rather interesting, as they didn't just mass up a bunch of Fireflies in a platoon and told them to attack an area. No, it'd mix them in with regular 75mm Shermans, because the Firefly had pretty terrible high explosive characteristics, and he still needs to blow up bunkers and houses and pillboxes, so having some 75mm armed Shermans with their lower velocity HE gun was rather useful. And the regular Shermans would be the one that would move up, and then covering them, giving them overwatch, would be Fireflies, who would usually set up in positions predetermined before the battle actually began to send recon teams to figure out good hold down positions for the Firefly, and they would cover the advancing 75mm Shermans, as the Fireflies provide overwatch. In game, the Firefly is a B to C phase 210 point tank, available to Guards Armoured, 3rd Canadian, Desert Rat and Polish Division, and it has 2 weapons. The weapon loadout consists of course one 17-pounder gun with 6 accuracy, 6 rounds a minute, with 16 AP and 51 rounds of ammo, 2 HE damage and 26 rounds of ammo, and 1.2 kilometer range. It's a 17-pounder. It's essentially the most powerful allied long-range anti-tank gun. It's pretty good. And then you got 1 machine gun. Nothing really too fancy, Pop down to Miscellaneous stats. It's got 11 frontal armor, 6 on the side, 6 on back, and it is an enclosed vehicle. Very bad stealth, a speed of 28 kilometers off-road and 63 kilometers on the road, and very low optics capability. In battle, the Firefly, it's a Firefly, is the big cat killer. You need Tigers, Panthers, and if you can sideshot a King Tiger dead, well, the Firefly is a very effective tank for that role, and compared to an Achilles or the Challenger, the big thing is that extra armor, that 11 armor. Even though it's not enough to reliably bounce Panther shots or Tiger shots, sometimes you get lucky, and it does sometimes, and also because you have the extra armor when you're getting shot at or there's a near miss, your guys are a little less stressed out. When their Achilles and Challenger, because of its recur armor even on the sides and the Achilles being open top, they get stressed out rather quickly. This what makes the Firefly really effective. Now, one-on-one engagement against Tigers and Panthers, still not going to be great most of the time. You usually want to have 2 Fireflies for every 1 Panther the enemy gets, and just try to get more Fireflies. You get them in a rather nice amount of decks. For example, on Guards Armoured, you can get a ridiculous amount of Fireflies, even in a non-meme spam deck, and I'd highly recommend you just get as many Fireflies as you can possibly fit in with Guards Armoured. Because yes, you're not going to need it all the time, especially against infantry-focused divisions, but when you're fighting Trophy S and C phase, and they're starting to roll the Panthers off the production line, you're going to risk you how to those Fireflies. And this, of course, yeah, the Desert Rat Fireflies. As they have the 2-star models, you only get 1 per card, but by God, a 2-star veterancy Firefly bumped up to an extra star veterancy of a command unit is scary. Like, that thing can run on Ron Panther. This is so bloody good. Yeah, 2-star Firefly. You have to be a bit more cautious, of course, with the desert rat runs, because you don't get an inordinate amount, but still, a very powerful. And that's really the Firefly. It's a fantastic anti-tank tank. Terrible against infantry, only 2 HE in its main gun, and only has 1 machine gun, no 50 cal either, so you're kind of buggered if infantry are attacking you. But that's what you have your fire support tanks for. I also want to mention about the Polish Firefly 1C, which you only get in B phase and 1 per card. It's much cheaper, which is nice, but you do lose the side armor, the front armor, and you're also just a little bit slower. It's very nice for the price. It's still a good tank, but because you only get 1 per card, they're not exactly card efficient. But it's still a Firefly, and yeah, I have nothing else to really say. The Firefly is the bloody Firefly. It's really not much to say about it. And I'm going to leave it off that. It's been another revision of the week. I hope you enjoyed the video. And usual, please just take it easy.